Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are looking at the famous colored pencil brands that a lot of artists use. We will see the differences, which ones are more durable, which ones have the most vibrant colors, and which ones are like pricier and which ones are more affordable. Today we are going to compare and see. We have nine brands and we will see now which one is your favorite, and I'm going to also tell you which one is my favorite. Just don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe button when you can. Let's start! First, I would like to show you which papers I'm using. I'm going to use the toned gray paper, Bristol smooth paper, white, and I'm going to use my black pastel paper, and finally I'm going to use my medium surface vellum paper. Now, are you ready to dive in all these pencils and lose ourselves? Oh, but first, sorry, I forgot something. Yeah, I need my coffee. Now I'm ready. So first of all, I have a confession. I didn't have the Crayola 24. I had set of 12, and I didn't want to buy again a set of 24. So I apologize for it. But, well, you know, you can still test 12 colors, but for the rest of the pencil sets, I'm going to use a set of 24. Except Caran has 20, but again, it's close. So the Crayola pens are really cheap. You can buy this from Target for $2. And let's see if you can get good results with those cheap pencils. And I'm going to start with the smooth paper. So the smooth paper has, you know, almost no tooth, and so I have to be really careful because Crayolas are oil-based color pencils. If you apply a little bit of pressure, oil-based pencils tend to have more, you know, lines, and I don't want those lines to appear that much because I want them to blend in each other very smoothly. And Crayola did actually a good job. It didn't do a bad job, and the colors are not as vibrant, but in terms of blending, in terms of, you know, having those layers, it was not bad at all. But I wanted to check the portrait colors. Of course, among 12, there was not much to do portraits. There was like dark brown, and I have some orange and some pink, reddish pink, but that was it. So it's not the best if you want to draw some portraits with them. I tried them on also vellum paper, which is a medium surface paper, and you can see that, you know, white of the tooth is actually showing a little bit, but as you can see, I blended two greens and they turned out pretty good. Well, when I went over them with my white, it didn't help blend, but also it didn't look bad. In order to see how those colors look on black, I used my black pastel paper, and you know, you can see that white is actually showing more and the colors are showing themselves much better, but still it's not as bright. In order to see the strength of the white, I usually use the gray toned paper, and when I used it on this paper, I saw that actually white was not strong enough. So I think in colored pencil set, what I'm actually more careful about how the white is, how the black is, and how the vibrance of the other colors. Do they have like portrait colors, because I'm drawing a lot of portraits, and of course it is important to see how strong the cores are. These pencils are not bad at all. They don't break easily when I was actually sharpening them, so that's good. Lyra Polycolor. So these are used by a lot of friends of mine, artist friends of mine, so I was very curious about them and I wanted to try them, and they were not bad. Let's see. Lyras are actually in between oil-based and wax-based. They are softer than, you know, the Crayolas, but they are not as soft as, for example, Prismacolor Premier. What I liked about them, they were actually very elegant. I like how the pencils actually felt in my hand and how it looked. Besides, I think they have really good selection of portrait colors, which was very good. And the vibrancy of the colors were not bad at all. They were quite vibrant, but the black was not as black as I wanted it to be. They are more closer to, I would say, Polychromos, but they are a tiny little bit creamier than Polychromos. Their market price is right now $27. I don't know what happens by the time you watch this video, but you know, in comparison to Crayola, there's a quite a bit difference. When I tried them on vellum paper, actually colors, you know, showed more, and I can see those white areas a little bit. I think the tooth of the paper was showing a little bit more on this one. What I kind of realized is layering was a little bit difficult. After 2-3 layers, I think the layer didn't look as natural, so that's something to keep in mind. The black color performed much better on this paper, so maybe if you use medium paper instead of smooth paper, that might be a better choice. On black paper, you know, all the colors look wonderful. I really like this result. But again, portrait colors look a little bit, you know, less vibrant than others. In order to see the, again, power of the white, we use the toned paper and we see the results. You know, the white is not as good. Again, Lyra doesn't have the best white pencil either. So if you're ready, let's move on to the third one. Koh-i Polycolor. So this is a set of 24, and we use 24 from Lyra as well. And let's see, I have actually two Koh-i, one of them is Woodless and this one is just the Polycolor hard mode set. We will see the difference. Koh-i Polycolor layered a little bit weirdly, I would say. Some colors, when I tried to do the second and third layer, I think the color kind of changed, or it kind of lost its vibrancy, so just pay attention to that. Koh-i Polycolor is also oil-based pencils. They feel good on the paper. Some colors are a little bit more oil-based than the others, I can tell, because they're harder. I guess that depends on how much they used oil to combine the pigments to each other. And I really like, again, the portraits selection, but there was only actually 4 or 5. I didn't see any kind of lighter tones like a beige color or cream color or peach. That would be awesome to have. But because they're oil based, when I try to do some lines for example eyelashes or eyebrows, they actually performed really well. I could produce some really thin lines. But when I tried white in order to blend these colors, they didn't turn out very well. I'm gonna try it again on the medium surface, the vellum surface, and the colors are here pretty good. I really liked it much better on this vellum paper. The colors are showing much better, but you can see again white of the two is showing. When I blended these two kind of orangey ochre colors, they blended really well. I think it's good. But when I tried to blend them again with white, I mean, it worked, but it was not the best result ever. After I blended them with white, I went over them with black. You can see that as if I am drawing an eyelash. I think it looks good. Black is not the blackest, and I tried all the colors on the black paper, and again, I think the colors are vibrant, but the black could be better. And when I tried all these, the same colors, the primary colors, and black and white on the gray paper, I saw that, you know, the white is not as strong again. So until we find a strong white, we will keep going and searching. Another Koh-i set that I have is Koh-i Woodless. These are amazing feeling pencils, guys. These are so sturdy, so heavy, and I feel like, you know, they're so elegant looking. I really like Woodless Koh-i series. Even in graphite pencils too, they're pretty good. I forgot to tell you the price of Koh-i Polycolor we did just now. It's $20 in the market, and Koh-i Woodless is what we are testing right now, and their price is $15. They're cheaper, and I'll tell you what, I think they're better. We'll see. So when I tried on the fine paper, I think the colors were much brighter. Maybe that's how I thought, but please share your ideas in the comments section, because I want to know. Maybe this is my own opinion, but I would love to know your opinion as well. The black was really, really nice and I think smooth. And when I was drawing on the paper, it felt so good. It was just like gliding. And I can tell that it has more wax base than oil based in these pencils. And you can see that there is a little bit more bits are coming out when you do the drawing. And what is good about this set is they have more portrait colors. So you can see like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different tones here, and you can use it for almost any skin color. The only thing it's missing is, I think, if they had a peach color or just like a pinkish color, that would be perfect. And let's try them on vellum paper. I think vellum paper did really great too, and because of their kind of wax-based, towards wax-based structure, they leave a little bit more white off the paper, but overall I think they blend really well when I did that on the right, on the portrait colors, and it was good. I really like this set, actually, much better than other Koh-i Noor. On the black paper too, especially the portrait colors popped out. I love the red and yellow in this series too. Unfortunately though, the whites are not the best. When I applied the white on, you know, the blended colors, it didn't blend them very well, or it didn't lighten up them that well. And when I applied white on the gray toned paper, unfortunately it didn't pop out either. So we are still searching for the best white. Another pencil that a lot of artists use, Derwent Coloursoft from England. Derwent is a very famous brand, as you know, but this is the first time I use their color pencils, and here is my review. There are two things that I've noticed first about these pencils. The first one is they have a very good range of portrait colors. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them is right here, and these are the colors that I use the most, and they feel really, really good, guys. Like, I think, you know, they're very also elegant set of pencils, but at the same time, I should tell you that they break easily, and as you draw, they melt pretty quickly as well. They're wax based, as you know, and so they're very smooth. They're very close to Prismacolor Premier, if you ask me. But in terms of vibrancy, they're not as vibrant as I think Prismacolor Premier. On fine paper, I think they did really well. Of course, they created some bits like every wax-based colored pencil do. And I think the negative part of the set is also when I was layering, I had difficulty having the third and fourth layer with the same vibrancy or the same easy application. So it was not easy at all, and I felt like, you know, it is much easier with other pencils for me, but with Derwent Coloursoft it was a little bit tough. And when I used the vellum paper, again, the colors were great, and you know, typical wax-based pencil results came out because they created bits, and you have to actually clean those bits because then they might smudge, and we don't want that. And after I blended two colors, the two portrait colors, I went over with white. And you know what I saw? It was terrible at blending the colors, but it was really good at brightening up. I think it was very light. So if you want to give highlights with white, I think we might have found the white we are looking for. Let's look. When we look at the black paper, we see that, you know, the white is pretty bright, and other colors too. I think these were the best results so far on the black paper. And when we try the white on the gray paper, we see that it's really, really good. It's the best white we had so far. And the black too. I think the black was one of the blackest ones. And in overall, I think I'm happy about this set, but I think the selection of portrait colors is great. I think the vibrancy is good, but they break easily, and we have to, you know, keep sharpening them. They don't do layers very easily on top of each other either, so it's just like, you know, it's about your choice. And the price of this set is right now is $38. Faber Castell Classic. Faber-Castell Classic is very basic pencils, oil-based pencils. Faber-Castell, as you know, is a German brand, and they produce pretty good pencils actually. After this, we are going to look at Faber-Castell Polychromos as well, but these are a cheaper option, especially for the people who are starting out and just want to learn how to draw the basics. Then I highly recommend these pencils. Let's look. So when we start laying the colors out, I realized that it's easy again, and the application is very, very easy. I really like using these colors. The colors are not as vibrant. I was expecting that. They're very close to Crayola, but they're better than Crayola actually. When it comes to black, I was surprised because the black was amazing. It was really, really black, and when I did the lines like eyelashes or eyebrows, they were really sticking out. I just really love that. When it comes to the portrait colors though, when we look at the portrait colors selection, there are not many options, unfortunately. And for example, the darkest brown is not as dark, so you have to kind of mix a little bit of black. And I used golden color because it kind of looked like my raw umber color in my Caran set or other sets too. But when I went over it with my white, for some reason that gold color turned complete green. That was a disaster, so just keep in mind. And another thing I want to say, that when I applied these colors on vellum paper, they just brightened up, and I don't know how that happened, but it looks much more amazing on a more, I would say, textured paper. And when I blended colors, they blended really well. And when I went over them with white, I realized that it doesn't help much. Again, it seems like the white is not gonna be a very high performing one. When I again applied these colors on the black paper, I was so surprised. It just looked amazing. The colors were so much vibrant than on the smooth paper, so this difference really shocked me. When I applied these colors on the toned paper, gray paper, I realized that yeah, white was not very good, and the black still looked nice, and the portrait colors looked nice. So overall, again, for hobbyists or for a new starting artist, I think this is a really great cheap choice. The price is Now let's talk about Faber-Castell Polychromos. So Polychromos is used by a lot of professionals, a lot of hyperrealism artists actually use Polychromos. They are very nice, and I'm going to explain to you how nice they are and how much they cost. So Faber-Castell Polychromos are right now sold for, set of 24, I would say $65. They are pretty pricey, and I think they're the most expensive ones so far that we are looking at. But again, as I said, they have really vibrant colors. They are oil-based pencils, by the way. They have some wax in it, so they're not as hard, but they are hard for animal portraits. I think to get those fine fur details, Polychromos are the best. The black is great. You can see the black is black, and also when I blend them, I think this is the power of Polychromos. They blend really well. If you use your blending stump or if you do some kind of burnishing, it doesn't matter. They blend so well. When I went over them with white, you saw that it actually blended so nicely. And it actually lightens up as well, so the white doesn't seem like a bad white. Look at the portrait colors. I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not bad at all, but I would have loved to see some lighter tones as well, like a pinkish or a salmon pink or something cream. But unfortunately in this set, there's no such color. When I applied these colors, of course, on vellum paper, again, the colors popped out, and you can see that the white areas are not as much, but there's still some, and the black is there. Again, black is great, and I tried to blend some colors on top of each other. I did many layers, and the layers hold very well, and after 2 or 3 layers I was still able to layer on top, so that's a big plus. And of course the black you know, paper again showed us a great results when it comes to Polychromos, and especially the yellow I really loved, and also the portrait colors, they looked really well. And when you look at the black, it's just popping out. When I used all these colors, of course, on my toned paper, I see that one of the brightest results that we got so far on toned paper, and the white doesn't seem that bad at all. But I think still Derwent Coloursoft's white is the best so far. Prismacolor Premier. I have the set of 150. You don't have to have this set. Actually, a lot of pencils in here that I don't use, but you know, I'm going to choose the 24 of them that are available on the 24 set, and we are going to compare this because I want to be really fair. But I have to tell you one thing. I think the actual Prismacolor 24 set has, you know, quite a good amount of portrait colors, but if you are only working on portraits or you're really looking for portrait colors, then I highly recommend you to buy this set. This is actually Prismacolor Premier portrait set. It has 24 colors and they are all portrait colors. They are the ones that you use mostly in portraits. I really love the selection. They only don't have black, which is fine. I mean, we don't use black in the portraits except the pupils or the eyelashes, eyebrows, but other than that, it's a great set. But right now I'm going to only compare the Prismacolor 24 set, not the portrait set, okay? So finally I see some peach color and I'm so happy about this. And I see maybe 4 tones. Again though, I would like to see more ochre, raw umber or burnt sienna tones, but in 24 set you only see these colors, which is fine. It's not bad at all. And on the smooth paper, I think the colors are so vibrant. It's one of the most vibrant results on smooth paper so far. They are wax-based pencils, so they are really soft. People actually talk about their creamy structure. They're really creamy. If you don't like working with this kind of texture, then you can stay away. Their black is really good. When you actually, you know, try to blend these two colors on the right, you can see that they blend really well. They layer on top of each other really well. When I go over them with white, the white has the power of blending everything. On the vellum paper too, I tried every color and they looked even brighter. I love it. And when I blended those skin tones on the right, they blended so well with white. You can see the white actually lighten it up, and that's again great for the highlights. I can tell that just like in Derwent Coloursoft, you know, Prismacolor Premier has a very strong white as well, I can guess. But you should know something about Prismacolor. First of all, it's a soft one, so it might break. It's not going to be as strong as Polychromos, for example. Sometimes when I put pressure on my white, for example, it breaks. Just keep in mind. And the second thing to keep in mind is the smudging. When you draw, the bits come out, right? Like the dirt, I would call it. I don't know what you call it. But then if you go over it with white, any kind of other those kind of bits, then it's just going to smudge it, just like I did in the black part right now. Sometimes I do the, you know, the pupils or the around the eye, iris black, and I go in with my white for the white of the eye, and suddenly I smudge all those black little bits, and it just like ruins my drawing. So make sure that you blow those bits away, or you just like sweep it away. I don't know how you want to clean it, but you have to keep this in mind. Prismacolor does that. On black paper, again, the colors look bright and beautiful, especially the blue. I fell in love with the blue here, and the portrait colors looked great on this black paper as well. And of course, when we try the white on the gray paper, you see the result, right? The white is very bright and perfect. Although the colors didn't look as bright on the gray paper, I think still black and white look really strong here. And I think the portrait colors looked really nice on this gray paper as well. Prismacolor Premier is actually for 24 pencils. It's just $20. It's pretty reasonable, and they're very good pencils, so for the price you get a lot. talk about the most expensive option we have, Caran Luminance. I have the set of 76, but I'm going to choose only 20 colors that was included in the set, and then we are going to compare. Unfortunately, in the set of 20, there's not many options about portrait colors, you know, so that was a bummer. But if you want to do portraits and if you want portrait colors, probably you should get the second biggest set. I think it's set of 40. They try to renew their colors every once in a while, so you have to keep looking. There are two main reasons that I like to work with these expensive pencils. The first one is the colors are really vibrant, and I really like to layer on them, layer after layer. Even after you burnish, you can still keep layering, and that's a big plus for me. Also, one more big plus that Caran Luminance set has, it's white. It really lightens up really well, and also it blends the layers underneath really well. As you can see, the black also is quite good. When I tried to blend the portrait colors, you can see that it blended really well. I enjoyed it. Vibrancy continued on the vellum paper as well. And while I was working on the vellum paper, I tried to show you how those lines, the black lines, would look. They're not as thin as an oil-based pencil like Polychromos, because you know, you cannot get a sharp edge, like fine point really, but the blackness is there. Also, I wanted to show you how white performs, so you see that on that brown, I'm using my white pencil and I'm doing 2 or 3 layers, and the white is so powerful, you can see that. On the black paper, the colors are very bright. I like the white, how the white looks. I like how portrait colors look, but the most importantly, I like how the black one looks too. It's amazing. And when I apply this on the gray paper, toned paper, again, the strength of the white and that actually prettiness of that blue color is amazing too. I really loved it. So for Caran d'Ache's, this set, if you're again drawing portraits, please buy a bigger set, because this set is not going to satisfy you, and the price is, for 20 pencils, you're going to pay $55. Honestly, you can buy these pencils like separately, but they're gonna get much more expensive. For example, I think I bought the white color for $8. One pencil, it's quite expensive. So now let's compare them all together and see the results. Let's compare the smooth paper results first. As you can see, the brightest colors are at the top, and as we go down, we have less vibrant colors. The top 3 actually are the most vibrant. When it comes to the portrait colors, I think the variety of Derwent Coloursoft was the best. And the closest one to that would be probably Faber Castell Polychromos. And also Koh-i Noor Woodless had a very good set of portrait colors as well. If I had to make a choice between Koh-i Noor Woodless and Koh-i Noor Polycolor though, probably I would choose Koh-i Noor Woodless. They were much more high quality and their colors were much vibrant and they had much more variety. You can see the oil-based pencils performed really well on black lines, whereas the wax-based ones produced a little bit thicker lines. In terms of blending, I think when we compare, the first 3 blended the best. For example, Derwent Coloursoft and Faber Castell Polychromos, you can see that they blended really differently. Polychromos did a much better job. On medium tooth, on vellum paper, our colors looked even brighter, but the bottom 3 had some white of the paper showing, so that's why I didn't like them. But the first 4 even closed those white parts, and I really like that. When you look at the blackness results, the top 3, Caran d'Ache, Prismacolor and Faber Castell Polychromos, did a very good job, and also Derwent Coloursoft, but it was a little bit dusty. And even though it's a very cheap set, Faber Castell Classic Black is also a very good pencil, I should say that. Not Crayola. On the black paper, we see that a lot of colors popped out. Lyra had the least vibrant colors for some reason. Even Koh-i Noor Polycolor or Faber Classic had very vibrant red, but unfortunately not Lyra or Crayola. Also, you can see the blackness here much better because it's on the black paper. Caran, Prismacolor, Faber Castell had the best black tones, if you ask me. And honestly, of course, Derwent Coloursoft is not bad at all either. But Koh-i Noor Polycolor and Lyra, for example, their blacks are very weak. When it comes to whites, we need to look at the gray toned paper. The top three you see here gave the best results in terms of the whitest result. As you can see, as we go down, the white is losing its strength. The colors on the top are a little bit more vibrant than the bottom ones as well. As you can see, they are losing their vibrancy as they go down. To see the white difference, you can look at Faber Polychromos and Prismacolor. Prismacolor performed a little bit better. 5, I would say, is just way more different than the top 4. But of course, this is my opinion. And again, the blacks are very vibrant on the top 3 as well. The way that I organize them right now is the top 3 best white colors. I believe Koh-i Noor Woodless and Faber Polychromos yielded some really similar results here. It's interesting. So what do you think, guys? Which ones do you use? Which ones do you like the best? And which ones you don't like? Just please share your ideas in the comment section. I really would love to see your ideas. I will see you in my next video. Stay with art and love. Bye. Thanks for watching my video. If you like my videos, please don't forget to subscribe. And for my real-time narrated tutorials, visit my Patreon, patreon.com/ecegürler. Stay with art and love.